It is Monday. It's the 26th of August. I'm Monita Rajpal. This is CNN News Center, live from Hong Kong. Our top stories today. UN inspectors in Syria are on their way to visit the site of last week's alleged chemical attack. Earlier, there were reports of mortar bombs landing just blocks away from where they're staying. Opposition groups say more than 1,300 people were killed in Wednesday's attack by what appears to be poison gas. The Assad government strongly denies those accusations. Let's cross live now to CNN's Fred Pleitgen, who joins us now from Damascus. Fred, let's begin with the UN weapons inspectors. Have they reached that site yet?
Well, we're not sure, but they should have reached their site by now. It's not really a very long drive if you look at the distance.
Okay,
however,
Fred, thank you very much for that. Fred Pleitgen, they're reporting to us live from Damascus. The U.S. is repositioning its warships in the Mediterranean after a weekend of talks with allies on taking coordinated action. Just hours ago, Britain's Foreign Secretary said an international response is possible without unanimous Security Council backing. And we've just heard that the Prime Minister is cutting short his holiday to chair an urgent meeting on the crisis. Well, let's take you straight now to CNN's Matthew Chance, who is outside Downing Street in London with more on, I guess this kind of shows, Matthew, just how urgent and how urgently these diplomats and politicians are taking the situation now.
Yeah, it certainly does, Monita, and it shows how quickly the momentum is building for these governments in the West to do something.
All right, Matthew, thank you for that. Matthew Chance there, live for us from 10 Downing Street in London. You are watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. I'm Monita Rajpal. He was once one of the most powerful men in China. Now Xi Lai can only wait helplessly as a court decides his fate. Testimony in the trial of the former high-flying politician wrapped up a few hours ago. He denies the charges of embezzlement, bribery, and abuse of power. CNN's David McKenzie joins us now live from outside the courthouse in Jinan, China, with the latest on that. David. Some of the other stories we're following for you here at CNN News Center. Former Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak has appeared in a Cairo court just days after being released from jail and put under house arrest. The 85-year-old is being retried on charges connected to the killing of hundreds of protesters during the 2011 uprising that drove him from power. A senior doctor in the West Bank says 3 Palestinians have been killed in clashes with Israeli forces. Another 19 Palestinians were wounded in the violence. It happened at a refugee camp north of Jerusalem early Monday morning. The president of Afghanistan is now on Pakistani soil ahead of talks with Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. Hamid Karzai arrived in Islamabad just a short time ago. It is the first time the two leaders have met as heads of state. At least 5 people were killed and another 17 injured in a train derailment in southern Mexico. The accident happened overnight in a swampy area in the Mexican state of Tabasco. In addition to its cargo of scrap metal, the freight train was carrying as many as 250 migrants from Central America. Those who died were all from Honduras. Tens of thousands of people in the Philippines have held a mass rally against corruption. They are angry at what they say is wasteful government spending and are demanding more accountability. The march was organized through an online campaign. It is one of the largest protests against the president since he came to power in 2010. We want to return now to Syria and away from the front lines. Fighters and civilians wounded in the conflict struggle to find treatment with medical supplies behind opposition lines in short supply. Some Syrians are seeking a care from a surprising source. Syria and Israel remain in a long-time official state of war, but that hasn't stopped some Syrian patients from crossing the border into Israel. Jim Clancy has this report now from a hospital in northern Israel.
At
15 years of age, her eyes have seen what no child should ever have to see.
You are watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. Emergency crews in the U.S. state of California are struggling to contain a massive wildfire that scorched almost 550 square kilometers of ground. So far, only 7% of the blaze has been contained. Firefighters are working around the clock to try to stop it spreading further inside the famous Yosemite National Park. CNN's Nick Valencia is there, and he joins us now live with more in that early hours of the morning or late hours of the night for you there, Nick. How's it looking where you are? All right. Nick, thank you very much. Nick Valencia reporting to us there live. Well, let's get more now on those conditions. And let's go to our Mari Ramos at the World Weather Center. So we're hearing there, Mari, that Nick was reporting dry conditions right now. Is that expected to change anytime soon?
We're going to see a little bit of moisture coming into that area over the next couple of days. Head back to you.
All right, Mari, thank you very much for that. Mother and baby are doing well. That is the latest from the U.S. National Zoo in Washington, where a giant panda is nursing her newborn cub. The baby is tiny, about the size of a stick of butter. At our CNN News Center, I'm Monita Rajpal, live at CNN Hong Kong. Thanks for joining us. I'll update you the news headlines in just a couple of minutes.